One, the models are getting bigger, right? I mean, it used to be your average customer wanted like 3,000 images from us to train an AI. I would say the average is closer to 30,000 at this point, right? And it's very bimodal, meaning there's still a lot
Mm.
of people building like small AI, and there's people building foundation models that can write the report from an X-ray from scratch, right? And those need millions of images to build that kind of AI. And so we see AI getting bigger, and then we also see it getting multimodal, right? It's getting bigger faster than it's getting multimodal, if that makes sense. Like the models are scaling up before they're taking a step horizontally. And when I say
So,
multimodal, I'm saying like, okay, I'm instead of just looking at the patient's CT scan and making some kind of judgment call, I'm going to look at the CT scan and I'm going to look at the biopsy report, and then
yeah,
I'm
the path and who knows what else.
right?
Yeah,
More
yeah.
more similar to how a human doctor would do these kinds of things.
Uh, Imagine that.
Yeah.
So how I'm sure you come across areas where you say, "Hey, there's no model being built for this. Should we model with, or should we do a joint venture?" Give someone the idea to say, "Hey, we're seeing an opportunity here. We don't want to compete necessarily with our customers because that would be a problem, but I think that's eventually going to be somewhat unavoidable,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
maybe it's joint venture instead
Yeah.
of.
Like, are you asking what are those models that I feel like are not being built in imaging that could be?
I no, I would do if we stop recording, yes, but I don't know if you want to.
Well, Jeremy, between you and I'm not gonna build those models at the end of the day. It's
Okay, well then, yeah, then man, have
very
at it.
happy to be the picks and shovels. The things that
Yeah,
are
okay.
missing, I think in the space, there's a good handful of them, right? One is like Alzheimer's modeling, right? In
Mm,
scoring. Like there is kind of no objective measure, right, in Alzheimer's of like cognitive decline, like as a function of your physical brain,
okay,
right? No one's really doing that. The other thing we're kind of missing in healthcare is retrospective second opinion, meaning we're having, a hospital do reads every day, but there's nothing that's going back and looking, what did we miss over the last 2 years, right? Or like, given that protocols have changed in terms of how we do this evaluation, how do we do a retrospective on the last 3 years? Part of that challenge in that second one is political, right? Because it's like hospitals almost don't wanna know what they missed. You know what I mean? Because then they have an obligation to do something about it. But from an AI company's perspective, that could bring a lot of value to the world, right? I think the
yeah.
only other
I wonder
that's
if like the value payment model accountable care actually will cause them to
agreed.
want to do that, where
Yeah,
the behavior is right, that would actually that's
correct.
going to intersect from what you're saying.
Once we get to VBC, I mean, I think that's gonna be huge, right? And then the third thing that I see out there is, contrast agents as a reduction,
Mm.
like reducing contrast agent volumes or even driving them to 0. There needs to be more people doing that,
Having
right?
gone through that, I would.
It
So I
sucks.
when
Like,
I
no one
yeah
wants to
I
have
had a
gadolinium floating around in their blood, right?
I my shoulder blown up doing this, just
Mm.
destroyed myself and got a Park City Medical Center, and they gave me way too much radiation, by the way.